Hey there, it's Brian Malouf coming at you again from the studio with the 10th and final installment on this 10-part video series designed to show you the different moves I make when mixing a song from front to back. And the song we've been working on is The Way I Was by Colby Calais. Let's get started with the very last episode, in which we'll just kind of do an overview of where we are and how we got there. Okay, let's start just by going over anything we may have glossed over in the past few sessions with what effects I put on different instruments. I want to tell you that this song required very little on my part to, I think, make it work, and that's part of the magic. You know, you can't automatically assume that because you're mixing a song that you have to do stuff. You just use your ears, and if it's fine flat, you leave it flat. I can't tell you how many times I've been able to remix other people's work because they over-mixed. They over-affected or over-processed or over-EQ'd or over-compressed, you know, all the different tricks and travails that you can fall into. But we didn't really listen to this loop. That's all it was. All I added to it was a little EQ, a little top end on this G channel. Just brought out a little bit of the clap against the foot. Okay, moving down. We didn't show you the compression on the bass. Pretty typical. This is exactly what 1176 is supposed to look like. Let's see, EQ-wise, that was that stereo bass. We went over that as well. Okay. Moving down. I didn't show you the vocal chain, I don't believe, in terms of its processing. So let's open each one of those one at a time. I used a Fairchild, a Neve, a De-esser, this Pro limiter. Now this just brought up her volume so that I could affect it easier into the other devices that follow, the EQ and the De-esser. So let's play a little bit of the vocal and see how all the meters are behaving. See what we did.
Whistle blows and the church bell tolls. Please remember me the way I was. When the crows fly south and the preacher shouts, I hope you remember me the way I was, the way I was.
So I think this brings up a good point in my compression structure and my gain structure. I'm using a compressor and a limiter, but I'm not hitting either very hard. You know, you're seeing 1 to 2 dB of compression on each device, and it gives you a nice dynamic vocal without squishing it too badly and giving her enough air and dynamics to make her vocal compelling and dynamic. The De-esser was getting hit about how I'd expected, around 4 dB of gain reduction on those sibilances. And the EQ is really almost flat. It is flat except for this little roll off in the bottom end. But this is another one of those devices I have automated. So in certain sections, they change. This is a roll off of the bottom end of the vocal spectrum on a couple of lines. Let's play the lines.
The way I was, I hope you remember me the way I was.
Again, watch that low end move.
The way I was.
Both of them moved. Let me show you the other one as well. This is the other one that moves. So you can see that I felt like she had some tailoring to do on those whoa, whoa, whoa sections. Again, this is one of those situations where automating the EQ is better than writing the vocal. We looked in depth at the BX hybrid already. So the next vocal This was the little pickup line. Basically the same chain, only I added this SSL channel just for a little bit more compression, and I wanted a little bit more bite in the mid-range for that overdub. She probably did that at a different time, so it sounded a little different to me. Little summit EQ on those little echoes that you hear here that were printed. Not much. Moving down, there's that throat thing. This is an interesting device. Used it on the male background singer. The guitars were flat. Look at that, no EQ, no compression, except for this guy, which I think was the dobro. A sweet little subtle effect just leading into those dobro sections. Overall on the guitars and the solo, just a low end roll off. We looked into these acoustics in depth with the low end roll off that was automated and a little Neve EQ for top end, I'll bet. Yep, at 10K, beautiful. And that's it. There was the effects compressor we went into in depth. So you can see I really didn't have that much to do in this song, which is as important as doing all the little things that you do as the things you don't do. And that about wraps it up. That's the end of my mix. Please check out the song whenever you get a chance and pick up that whole soundtrack if you want. There's a lot of good stuff on it. But I want to thank Colby for letting me use her song on this video series, and I hope you guys got something out of it. And stay tuned. The next video series I'm going to do is going to be specific tips and tricks on other songs that might have needed a little bit more doctoring or had a little bit more of room for avant-garde type approaches to the mixing stage. So adios for now. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Happy mixing.